everyone, welcome back. I'm Daria if you're new to my channel, and today's class is called Melted. This practice is a full body melts. It's great for an active recovery kind of day or any time that you just want something more chill, more of a feel-good, deep stretch kind of practice. So all that you'll need for this class is yourself and some place to move, and whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get started in Supta Baddha Konasana. So spin to face the top of your mat, bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide, and then lower all the way down to lie on your back. Set yourself up to be as comfortable as possible. So if you'd like, you can bring blocks or pillows or something supportive under your knees to allow them to really surrender and get heavy. Take one hand to your low belly and one hand to your heart. Soften your eyes. And now take a moment here just to drop into your space. Feel your body getting heavier. Feel gravity like a blanket doing its work so that all you have to do is consciously let go of anywhere that's resisting gravity, anywhere that's holding on, clenching, tightening. And then let your breath start to drop deeper into the core of your pelvis so that every time you breathe in, you feel first your low belly rise with air, then the middle belly, and then breathe all the way to the tops of your lungs. As you exhale, you'll feel the hand that's on your heart first deflating, and then the rib cage, and then the low belly. As you continue to deepen the breath, start to check, especially in your low belly, for holding, for tension. And try to relax so that when you breathe in and when you breathe out, you feel your belly rise and you feel it fall. And we'll take a couple more rounds of breath here, and just to see how much you can soften and relax all your muscles, all your bones. Imagine that you could soften even the activity of your brain. Everything just gets a little out of focus. And by out of focus, I just mean sort of blurring out any distractions so that the focus can sharpen into the present moment. And we'll take a clearing sigh all together. So breathe in first through your nose, fill all the way up. Breathe out of your mouth, big sigh, let your jaw hang heavy. You can keep your eyes closed or blink them open. Take your hands to your outer thighs and gently close your knees all the way back together. Draw your knees in towards your chest, grab for behind your hamstrings, and take a couple rocks up and down your spine. Let this feel really good, like a massage for your back. And once you've done a few, cross your ankles at the top of your mat, take your palms forward, and then walk your knees back to find a tabletop. Step your right foot off of your mat to the side, and bring the sole of your foot flat to the earth. So the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel are all rooted evenly. Then bend deeply into your right knee, and we'll start to make some circles into your hips. These circles can be like regular circles, or you can start to make figure eights, or it might not follow any set pattern at all, and that's totally okay. You can lift the heel of your foot, roll around on your ankle. Really just do whatever feels good for you. Make sure that you're traveling in both directions. And create a little claw down through your fingertips to take some pressure out of your wrists. Good. Come back to neutral in your hips. As you breathe in, sink your low belly down toward the earth. Lift your tailbone. pull your heart forward and then reach your eyes for the sky like a cow shape, but your leg is out. And then exhale, round into cat. Get super hollow into the front body so that you can expand your back body, create more space between all your ribs. Again, breathe in, arch your back, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and curl. Press the earth down between your palms. Inhale, look up. Exhale, soften the back of your neck. Let the crown of your head be heavy toward the mat as you round. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Come back to neutral in your spine. Make sure that your left knee is stepped directly under your hip. And then start to walk your fingertips forward as far as they'll go without introducing a lot of force. Puppy pose with an extended leg. Imagine that your heart could melt all the way down to the center of the earth. Take big, steady breaths into your hip creases and down the outer line of your right leg. One more breath here. Feel the space at the back of your shoulder blades reaching down toward the earth. Good. Come up about halfway. You can walk your hands in slightly more. Root your right palm and then slide your left shoulder all the way through and down to the mat. And from here, you can walk your right fingertips all the way back forward. So allow your chest to settle down onto the left shoulder, feeling a compressive effect. And then just breathe into everything that you're feeling. And this class today is all about dropping, all about letting go of all of the information that we're processing all the time, and all of the tension that we store in our bodies. And so the effect of this melt is that we end up feeling more open and receptive when we move back into the world. Good. Bring your right palm under your shoulder and then press into it to rise back up to your hands and knees. Right knee pulls back in. Step your left foot out to the side. Root your foot, bend your knee deeply, and then begin to draw some circles with your hips. If you want to get a little spinal action involved here, beginning to arch and round even as you make hip circles, you can do that. And just think of this as sort of an oiling of the hip joints. Come back to center. Left leg is still stepped out toward the side, and we'll take a few cat-cows here. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the eyes. And as you exhale, round your spine, contract your core, expand between your vertebrae. Inhale, look up. Exhale, press down, claw the mat, and drop your head. 2 more times with your breath, full inhalation. And a big exhale. Press your exhale down into the earth. Neutralize your spine. Begin to walk your fingertips forward. Keep your hips stacked over your right knee. And then here, maybe just the forehead drops to the mat. Or you can bring down the chest and the chin. Think of hugging your hands a little bit toward each other to activate your arms and your shoulders just a bit. And then check for places where you can let go. Is there anywhere that you notice that's gripping that isn't actually assisting in this melting process? Good. Press into your palms, come up about halfway. Slide your left hand in just a little bit closer to your body, and then glide your right shoulder all the way down to the mat. Drop your head. Keep your shoulders facing forward and let your chest surrender on top of the right arm so you feel a big stretch into the front of your shoulder. Keep your breath steady. Try to let the inhales and the exhales have the same quality of sound and also the same duration. One more breath here. Good. Walk your left hand under your shoulder, press into the mat to lift yourself up, and come on back to hands and knees. We'll take a few circles now into the rib cage. So, from a neutral spine, start to press your ribs over to the right side of your mat. As you do this, you'll contract the left side body and flare the right side body. Then press into the earth, lift your ribs up toward the sky. Get really hollow through the front of your rib cage. And then send the ribs all the way over to the left. Open up the left side body, contract the right side body. And finally, allow your rib cage to settle down toward the mat, almost like a hammock effect into the back of your heart. Good, let's go the other way. Slide your rib cage over to the left, contract right side body, expand through all the ribs on the left, and then press the back of your heart straight up toward the sky like it's being pulled on a string there. And then glide your ribs over to the right, squeeze your left waist, flare the right ribs, and finally surrender your torso or your rib cage down toward the mat. Let's go one more time, one more circle in each direction. You can take it really slow to really try to feel all the nuance of the opening as it occurs. Good. Walk your knees forward towards your wrists, and then we'll come up to sitting on our heels. Spread your feet wide enough apart so that you can wiggle your pelvis down between your heels. If this is causing pain for your knees, you can try instead to take your feet together and your knees wide, like child's pose legs, so you'd be in a saddle pose. From here, take your hands behind you, lift your pelvis just slightly, and then settle it back down between your heels. You can stay here if you're already feeling a lot of sensation, or maybe lower down to your elbows. And wherever you are, try to keep reaching your knees down toward the mat, and pull your inner thighs together as much as possible. If it's comfortable, you can lie all the way down to your back. And option 2, grab for opposite elbows overhead. And then feel into all the opening in the front line of your body. Breathe from the line that runs from your hip bones down to the points of your knees, releasing any kinks or knots into your quads. Breathe into the low belly. And notice here, with your heart just slightly elevated, if you have more capacity to take in breath on your inhales. Soften your face. And once again, try to be really heavy, like your whole body is this one massive sandbag. All these little grains of sand that are melting down into the earth. If the arms are back behind you, Bring your elbows back down, then press into elbows and hands to rise back up to the forearms. From here, we'll all press back up to sitting on the knees. Walk your fingertips forward, lift up, and then swing your legs forward to the top of the mat. Root your heels, step your fingertips back behind you, and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side a few times. Let all of that go. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, and bring your heels in close to your body for today. Then pull on the fronts of your ankles to lift your heart. Draw your shoulders down your back and create a little bit of an active press of your knees straight down toward the earth. On your exhale, reach forward with your heart. Keep pulling back on your ankles to create elongation in the spine. And then maybe begin to walk your fingertips a little bit more forward. And let's stay active for the first couple breaths here. So try to feel that big long line of energy from your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head. Pull a little bit back on your fingertips to reach your heart forward. It's like a tractioning. When you exhale, allow your outer hips and your inner thighs to soften. And try to do this really consciously. Breathe right to what you feel. And allow every exhale to carry you a little deeper into your sensations. If you notice that your mind begins to become distracted as we hold for a few more breaths, use the breath as your anchor back to now, back to this moment. Imagine the breath like long brush strokes, like you're painting through anywhere that's tight. And as you see these brush strokes in your body, give them a color as well. Try to pick a color that feels really soothing to you. And we'll take 3 more rounds right here. Close your eyes if it's comfortable, and really go inside all your sensations. Rise all the way back up to a seat. Take your feet forward, and then roll down to lie on your back. Good. We'll take a twist. I'm going to cue for eagle legs, but if that's uncomfortable for you, you can take any other supine twist that feels good. So cross your right knee over the left. If you like, you can hook the right toes behind the left calf, but that part is completely optional. Then draw your knees in slightly towards your chest and allow your legs to fall over toward the left side of your mat so that your right hip stacks on top of the left. And try to keep reaching your right shoulder down for the earth, and then take your gaze over the right fingertips. And imagine your body is like chocolate that has been perfectly melted. And so you've become like a liquid, ever expanding. Make your way back through center. Undo your twist of the legs and take it the other way so that the left leg threads on top of the right. Hug your inner thighs together and then maybe hook the left toes behind right calf. This time, the legs will fall over toward the right side of your mat, and you can readjust as needed so that you're creating the twist that feels good for you. The left hip is stacked over the right. Left shoulder's reaching for the mat, And then the gaze moves over the left fingertips. And as you stay here breathing, with every inhale, try to infuse your body with a feeling of calm. And with every exhale, infuse your body with the feeling of melt. Make your way back to center, lying on your back, and draw both of your knees in toward your chest. Keep the back of your head down. You can bring your hands to the fronts of your shins and just make some circles onto your sacrum. Massage the low back with your body weight. And then give yourself a big hug. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, find your way to Shavasana. Open up wide. Take up as much space as you need. And then try to become as still as possible, as quickly as possible, once you're set up comfortably. And you can bring in any props that you have to help you be more comfortable. Maybe sliding a pillow or blocks under your knees. Or you can bring a blanket over your body so you can stay nice and warm. And then let yourself really just settle into the nothingness of this shape. And recognize that in doing nothing, we're able to fully relax and to fully drop. It can be such a beautiful way of navigating feelings of overwhelm or of burnout or of stress. So really give yourself this time away from distractions, away from the busyness of everyday life, to melt into the earth beneath you. And I'll wake you up in just a little bit. Stay here and keep resting until you feel like you've fully melted. And when you're ready to come out, do so intentionally, slowly, gracefully. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Roll one ear down to the mat gently, and then the other. And then stretch your body out like taffy. Reach the toes forward and the fingers back. Pull your spine really long. And when you exhale one more time, relax. Drop all your bones heavy to the earth. And take a lazy roll to one side or the other for fetal pose. Draw the knees in. Relax your head, relax your hands. And then press your way up to a seat. Keep your eyes closed. Try to stay inside of your experience just a little bit longer, like when you press the snooze button in the morning and you can stay in sleep and in rest just for that little extra bit of time. And bring your palms down to your thighs. Feel the weight of your pelvis heavy to the earth, but feel the buoyancy through your spine as the crown of your head rises. Drop your shoulders down your back. And just take a moment here to observe how you're feeling. And release any judgments around what's coming up. Just notice. Draw your palms to meet at heart center and find a bit of authentic gratitude now for your body and all that it does for you every day. And lift your heart just a little bit towards your thumbs, and then tuck your chin down towards your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this melty little practice with me today. I hope that that felt good for you, and I hope you were able to relieve some tension, whether that was out of your physical body or the mental space or a little bit of both. I love a good stretchy class like this every now and then. If you're not already, you can subscribe to my channel down below. That really helps to support me. I'm so appreciative of all of you, and I hope you're doing really well. I'll see you soon. Bye.